Oh, forgot my light. Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh, there we go. Turn the light on. Ah, how's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are all doing fabulous. Anne is not going to be joining us visually because she woke up this morning and she had a really bad sore bump on her lip and it hurts really bad. So I told her, yeah, don't worry about it. So she's not going to do her live either. It's just going to be me today doing mine. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Today I am working with Anne's stencil products from StencilGirl, which I absolutely love. Love, love, love. So I'm going to show you how to create a frame that I came up with. And I started out, I was gonna do a card, and then I changed my mind, and so you do that when you're a crafter. I mean, we all do it. So hang on just a second, and let me pop my screen and see. There I am. All right. You do that. Okay, we don't want that. So, all right, hang on. There we go. All right. Okay, so I see me, which is good, good. So, all right, for those of you that are watching for the very first time, my name is Lisa Rojas, and Ann Butler and I own Bella Crafts Publishing. We've been doing this for more years than I care to count. It's been a lot. But we put out a free digital craft magazine that comes out 4 times a year. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything. So while I am doing my live, and we'll be putting links in for me, so you guys will be able to just click on a link and go right there. There's nothing to it. You're just going to go to the website and put in your email address. And then from there, every time a new issue comes out, it will go directly into your inbox. Now, don't be worrying about us, selling your email and bombarding you with 50,000 emails. We don't do that. We don't do it because Ann and I don't like it. And if we don't like it, we're not going to do it, to our friends, our crafty friends. So, hi, Helen. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Isabel. How are you guys today? Yeah, so also we have a group on Facebook called Do You Love to Craft? So if you're interested, we would love to have you join us. There's all kinds of fun, crafty stuff going on in that group. Just lots and lots of fun. So if you haven't done so already, check it out. But today, as I said, we're going to be working with Anne's stamps, her patriotic stamps from StencilGirl. I don't do normally, which is really weird, I guess, but I don't normally do like Americana, that kind of stuff, only because it only has 3 colors for the most part. You use white, red, blue, and you guys know me. I love colors, so it's just not something that I just don't do it. But she has some beautiful patriotic stencils that I could not say no to. So that's what we're going to be working with today. I want to share all of that with you guys. And then, of course, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. Make sure, if you want to get in on the giveaway, you need to like, comment, and share my video here. Okay. And then make sure that you head over to Anne's business page, which is Ann Butler Designs. Give her a like over there. And then I'll have her to put, oh, she already did it. She's got the link in there for her stencils. So I would say, you know what? I'll just show you now and then we'll just get started. So this is what we are creating today. Isn't that cool? I just loved it.
It's
And
beautiful.
of course, I have, my nifty little easel back here, which I absolutely love that die. I'm telling you, I love it. So, what we're going to do, this is a very simple project, but I'm going to show you also how to use Sizzix Stamp and Stencil, or Stencil and Stamp tool is what it's called. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that also today. So, Anne, can you think of anything else I need to add?
Nope, I think you have it covered.
Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, so I'm going to switch my camera and then we're going to get started. So let me do that now. There we go. All right. So let me show you again. And now I put my camera up higher so you guys should be able to see everything. But this is what we are creating. This is a paper frame. And then Anne's beautiful heart stencil. As soon as I saw this stencil, I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
I
Isn't
love
that
that. It
crazy?
turned out beautiful.
Sometimes you get inspired by, or me anyways, I get inspired by, let's say, a stencil or a stamp, a piece of paper, or a die, whatever, and then that's what'll start my creative process. So when I saw this heart stencil, I immediately knew what I wanted to do. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to set this over here and we are going to get started. All right. So first, now I just used my heart stencil, okay, in this particular project. So what I want to do is I want to show you the rest of the ones that Anne has with the patriotic theme, just so you guys can see, because there's quite a few. Now I have used these a few times. So this is one I was debating on. I kept going back and forth. Did I want to use this or the heart? But my heart was set on the heart. So, all right. So she's got these. Let me scooch these up out of the way so you can see all of these. I mean, they're so cool. So beautiful. And then we've got the star background, which I have used a number of times. And then there's also this raggedy, jagged edge lined paper stencil. And I love that. And then also there's a wavy line. And then there is this burst that I have used also. So today we're going to be working with this one. But like I said, I wanted to just show you guys the rest just so you can see, how totally cool that is. All right, so I need to turn my glue gun on. And all right, let me move this up all out of the way. Now, to create the frame, I have used this set before. The frame that I had done before, though, I had bumped out the sides, the whole frame like this. And this time I didn't want it bumpy. I wanted it flat. So you can do it two different ways. But for this one, I wanted it flat. But as you can see, this die from Sizzix, it makes all different sizes. The finished project that I did today is an 8x8. So there's 4 dies in here, 4 different sizes, and then you can see the different sizes that you can create. Okay, so use that. All right, so what we're going to do first, because I'm going to let my heat gun or my glue gun heat up a little bit there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stencil first. Okay, so this is the Sizzix Come on. There we go. Oh, it's not going to be nice to me.
Gotta love when it's trying to focus.
I know, right? So irritating. Because you got to put something that is not white.
If you lift the cover up, it might help.
Take that glare off of there. All right. So we're going to pull that off. There we go. All right. Now you've seen Ann and I both have used this tool before. It is really, really a cool tool to use when you're working with stencils because it just kind of keeps everything in one place. So the way that it works, I'm gonna show it to you this way only because I don't know. I might turn it around, but I'll start it here so you guys can see. All right, so right now the tool has this backing that you pull this off, okay? And then you want to save this because when you're done, you want to lay it back down to protect this surface, which is sticky, right? So you want to be able to protect that so you can use it again and again. All right, so it also comes with this tool here, and what this does, this allows you to take any size stencil out there and you can stencil it all in one place, which is really, really awesome because, you know, a lot of times you can't stencil some of the bigger ones. This is just a great tool. I absolutely love it. And to me, it's just an awesome tool. Okay, so how to use this is you see how these have these notches, and you're going to take that lid off like I showed you, and you see the notches that are here. So I already know where I want my paper because I've already done it. So what I'm going to do, let me find my little paper here because I got stuff thrown all over the place. All right, there we go. Okay. Just a regular white piece of cardstock that I want to use. So what I'm going to do is take my stencil here. Let me turn this around just really, really quick. So I know, as I said, where I want my paper to go because I've already been messing with it. So, but what you're going to do, whoops, is lay your paper down. Now on this one, I didn't worry about any excess ink getting off on everything because I'm going to eventually cut the image out. So what you want to do is lay your paper down first. And then from where you lay it, depending on where you want your stencil to go, you put this plastic piece on, just like that. And then this down here's got a little bit, it's got the same cover on it, and it's sticky. So it's got sticky tape on it. So what you're going to do with that is you're going to lay your stencil right on top there. And while the cardstock is being held down with the sticky here, your stencil is held down there. So now you're just ready to just go. Okay. So to get started here, let me grab a piece of paper because I don't want to mess up my desktop. And then I have to redo it all over again, and it's just a pain. So I'm going to put a little piece of paper there. All right. So I used my Gina K ink pads. Best there is, in Ann and I's opinion. This one is the blue denim, and then this one is cherry red. Okay, so we used those, and then I also used my blending brushes from Pink and Main. Love these so much. So we're going to get started here, and then I have another little tiny brush if I need it to get around here. Now what you can do at this point, you can go ahead and tape this off, but I didn't do that. I just went ahead and just went for it. So, it works for me. I hope that I hope it's going to work today, but we're going to see. All right, so I'm going to start with my blue, and then I'm going to ink my brush up here really, really quick. And then we're going to go over all of these really pretty stars. Now, as I said, I'm not too terribly worried about going over because I'm going to cut this out. So it's not going to matter if I go over or not. All right, so I want to get in there, and I am being careful around where the two designs meet because I don't want to muddy my inks. But if you do, it's not, death. It'll be fine. Either just pull the stencil or pull your paper out and start again, or just put it into the design. All right, so now I'm going to try and get these edges. And those are a little hard with this bigger brush. So I am going to go ahead and use this little tiny one over here. All right, so I'm going to take that and then just go right over those right there. There we go. Okay, and then good to go. All right, so we've already done our blue. And now, see, I got blue on it anyways. I had blue and red all over my fingers last night. All right, so you see that I smidged there, but that came from my fingers. It happens. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the red. Okay, come in here and just get in there as best you can. These stencils are so, so beautiful, Anne. You really did. Well, I like all your stencils, but this heart one, I think, has got to be my favorite out of your last product line.
Thank you. I love that heart too.
Yeah, it says a lot without saying a lot. You know what I mean?
I know, it's perfect. And it's perfect for, okay, so you have Memorial Day, Labor Day,
Veterans Day.
July, so
yeah. Or if you just want to honor, somebody in your family that has served.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to flip this to the side here just a little bit, just so I can get a little better, get a little closer to this one red line, because again, I don't want to mix my inks. So I think that one right there could probably use a little bit more. And when I'm just doing like the sides like that, or tiny parts, I'll just ink like just the end of the brush, not the whole thing. All right, I think that'll be good. Get around those edges. Okay, put these away for right now. Okay, so now, of course, you're done.
Okay, so, question.
Yep.
Now with this, you could, because it's attached, you could lift that stencil up a little bit to see if you needed to add more.
Yes.
Right? Yep.
Yep. So if you need to, you can do that. Lift it just a smidge. Make sure when you do that, though, that you keep an eye on what's going on because the ink is laying on top of the stencil. So just be careful. This is not going to matter because I'm going to cut it all out. But if this was your base and this was all you were going to do, then you want to be really careful about lifting it, just because you want to make sure that your fingers don't get messy and get it all over your design. But see, for me, it's perfect just like that. And then, of course, you want to clean your stencil as soon as you can. Don't leave it, overnight or whatever. But now we're going to now you see I got a little bit of blue in here. The red went in just a little bit, but I don't think it matters. That's one of the things that I love about stencils, because you can just, it doesn't really matter if it comes out absolutely perfect.
It doesn't matter, but for those of you where it would, you can tape it off.
Yep.
When you're doing the second color.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want to, I just thought, I'm just going to go for it. All right. So before I do anything else, I want to put my cover back on my little base here. There we go. And then I can move this up out of the way. Okay. So now we've got our stenciled heart. So what I did from there, there they are. I just took, I'm going to cut up these bigger pieces first, get them up out of the way. And then I just followed the line of the stencil, and I just cut. Now, at this point, you can, if you want, to leave a little white around your edge here. If you want that, that's totally up to you. I wanted to go straight into the design. Okay, so we're going to cut this out. And there we go. All right. So this is probably going to be whopper jawed because I'm going way too fast. You want to take your time when you're cutting it out, guys. All right. So just kind of smooth those little edges out just a smidge. Okay. And then you've got your heart. So what I did at this point, I wanted to make my heart stand out just a little bit better. So again, I went in with my brush and I just went around the edges lightly. Okay, all the way around. And you don't want to, well, for me with this design, you don't want it to be real heavy. Okay, you want it just so it will pop a little bit better when you put it on the paper.
I love that extra detail.
You know what? It makes all the difference in the world.
It does. Yeah, beautiful.
It just, when I was working on it, I was leaving it white, and I thought, we just need a little something around the edges, because once you put it against that paper, then it pops. I wish I would have stopped to show you guys the difference. But trust me, it does. It does make a difference. All right. Now, because this is paper, I definitely would have gone back and I would have taken this, pitched it, and did it again, because you're only out your paper. But, I didn't want to take the time to do that here. Okay, so you just want to get around those edges. Okay, there we go. All right. So now we're going to assemble. I'm going to set that to the side. And now we're going to assemble the frame itself. All right, so for this frame, I used the largest piece that's in the set. Okay, and the end result, because I wanted it to be square, as I said, the end result is an 8x8. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take some pattern paper, okay, and you want to use, because pattern paper is not really heavy, so when I'm doing something like this, I like that extra heaviness. So what you want to do is you just want to take the pattern paper, lay it down onto some white cardstock. This is 110 pound that I did, and then use a spray adhesive to adhere the papers together. And I know you guys are going to ask me, so I pulled out my can so I wouldn't forget. But this is the spray adhesive that I use. You can use any one that you want, but this is the one that I use. Okay. So what you're going to do then is you're going to take that die and you're going to cut it out 4 times. Okay? And then you want to start scoring on, or folding the scores that are on here. Okay, now you're working with heavier paper because the white cardstock that I adhered to this is making this a lot heavier. So you want to be careful when you're folding this, because your paper a lot of times will split, and that just irritates me to death. They need to come up with paper that's not going to do that for us. So somebody out there in Craftland, that would be nice. Heavier pattern paper. Okay. But what I do in these particular instances, if it's really bad, and it looks really bad, then I will do what I did on mine. And I did it anyways just because I liked the look. But I just took my ink pad and went around the edges. Okay. All right. So we're going to put all of these pieces together. We're going to be gluing here, so I'm going to put that. And again, you're just going to fold these. And I am doing it, kind of fast. You want to take a little bit more time than what I am. It's not going to, the paper is not going to split all, to where it comes apart. So you don't have to worry about that. But you do want to try to make sure that you don't get a whole lot of the tear that you can get when you're doing these. Okay. All right. So this is the last one. I'm going to fold that. And I always find it easier to start in the center of my fold or my score line and then go to the edges. Okay. So you've got all 4 of these all folded. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere them. We're going to wrap the smaller piece here, and that's going to be what goes on top. Okay? I don't really think that it matters either way, but that's how I did it. So however you guys want. This is going to be the back of the frame, which you're going to cover anyways. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. And I mean, if you look at it now, you're probably thinking what I did the first time I saw this die set was, okay, that's going to make a frame. But it does. All right. So we're going to finish adhering these other 3 pieces. And I do suggest on this part that you use a glue gun, a hot glue gun. Okay. And that's just because, you really want it to hold. All right. So we've got 2 done. Finish these last ones. Sorry. Okay. Got to stop for a second. My hand is Sorry, my hand's spasming. Okay, so again, finish these all off. And then we're going to be ready to assemble. Okay. There we go. Okay, so you've got all of your pieces tied down or glued down. Now these are going to be your back. This is the back side. So when you're putting it together, you want to make sure that this seam is on the back. Okay. So what you're going to do from here is you're just going to connect these. See how easy that is? I was like so flabbergasted the first time I tried this because I thought, wow, is that really going to do all that? But it did. All right, so we've got that one there. And what you're doing is you're just taking the little foot piece here and inserting it, and then that's how you're going to get it to connect all the way around. So we've got this last one. And I want to tuck this one inside here. Okay, so now you have all four corners. So I like to wait until I put it all together before I started hearing the ends, just so I could make sure that it's sitting right and it's where it's supposed to be, and you know, all of that good stuff. All right, so now we're going to flip this puppy over and then just start adding some glue. Right here, you're just going to finish those pieces off so the frame will stick together. And like I said, you can see the back, it's kind of sloppy, but you're not going to worry about that because you are going to put a backing on this, or at least I suggest that you do. Okay. And then we got a couple more here. So it really does go together really quick, which, you know, this would be really, really cool if you were hosting, you know, any type of party for any of the holidays. You could use the smaller dies in this set and create tinier frames and put them on the table or give them away maybe as, you know, prizes if you do raffles or whatever. There's all kinds of things that you can do. And then you've got all the different beautiful stencils that I showed you that Anne has. So you've got it all covered. All right. So now I'm just going to do a quick little check. Yep, we're good. We're all together. Oh, that one came off just a little bit. So I am going to lift it. I know that this tool is not meant for this, but I use it all the time if I'm gluing something and I can't get it straight. All right, so there we go. It must have slid when I turned it over. All right, so we got that last one in there. There we go. Okay. So now you've got it all put together. Your frame is all put together. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now what I did at this point, before I put it all together, I took my ink pad and I went around my edges, and then I also went a little bit further with my ink inside the frame. I'll show you what I'm talking about on the finished one. Okay, but you've got your frame, right? It's all put together. So now what you're going to do is cut a piece of pattern paper. And I was telling Anne this morning I was really crunched on time because if I wasn't, I definitely would have used the striped, especially like the ragged striped. I would have used that to make my background piece. But I ran out of time, so I had to do what I could do. Okay, so you're going to cut a piece of pattern paper or stencil a piece out, which is what I would suggest, and then a piece of vellum. You want the vellum to be a lightweight vellum, not one of the heavier ones, because then you won't see your design at all. Okay, so what you want to do now, move this stuff out of the way. So now we're going to take our heart, and because I like to make sure that everything is straight before I glue it all down, and it's where I want it. So I do this to double check. And I want my heart to be right at the top edge of my frame here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then if you need to at this point, if you need to measure it, before you pick it up to glue it, you can do that. Just put a little dot or something, and then you'll know where it needs to lay back down. But I'm not going to worry about that. But where's my glue? There it is. Okay. So now we're going to take this, take our heart, and like I say, I already know where I want it. And I'm just going to adhere this down. Does anybody have any questions yet? It's pretty simple.
I have some things highlighted, but
Okay.
I'll wait till you're done.
Okay.
Because there's no real questions.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's a really simple design. So, all right. So you've got your top piece on, and now you're ready to lay your vellum. Okay. So
that really tones it down. Looks good.
It does, right? But that's what I said, though. I mean, because I did not want really super bright colors for this. I wanted, because it's, more of a remembrance type of project, I wanted it to be a little bit more subdued. And this is my version of subdued. So when you add the vellum, it just, I don't know. It just, once you put the dye down on top, it's just, I think it's just perfect. But that's why I said you really, really want to use a light vellum, because some of the vellums are heavy. You do not want heavy. You want light. All right. So for this, just going to add. Now, I'm not going to glue this all the way down. I'm just going to kind of glue it in little pieces just so it'll stay while we're doing this part. You want to line that up. And you also want to make sure, because you are using vellum, you want to make sure that when you put your glue down, get your glue onto your edges where your frame is going to cover it, because you don't want your glue to show through your vellum. And it will show, well, as you can see, it will show through. Okay, so then you're going to take that piece. There we go. And okay, and then you'll see why I said that, because I just did what I'm telling you not to do. Okay, let's see if I can get this up, because I do not like that glue showing. So I'm going to flip that over real quick. Take my nifty little tool and pull that right off. Voila. Now this one I'm not going to worry about because you can't see it. The frame's going to cover it. Okay. But I do want to adhere that down again. I'm just going to use a quick piece of tape just to add this little corner down. There we go. Okay. And now you're going to add it to your frame. Now make sure, because you are working with stripes, okay? So you want to make sure when you put this in that your stripes are straight. Because last night when I was working on mine, I was so tired that I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was just trying to get things done. And I looked and I went, oh man, that is like really crooked. So just make sure that your stripes look nice before you glue anything down. And then you're going to carefully lift it back up, flip it over there. Okay, and then for this, excuse me, okay. So for this, I am just going to use a little bit of Scotch tape to hold this down. Let me make sure that it hasn't shifted. Nope, we're good. Okay, so then we're going to just add a couple more pieces. And basically this is to just hold this in place. You are going to put a piece of cardstock on the back, okay, to cover it all. But that looks good. Okay, so now we're going to cut a piece of the heavyweight cardstock. This is 110, like I told you. And you're going to cut it just a tad bit smaller than your frame. So you're going to be cutting it 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, just so you guys know. And then again, let's see. Make sure. Whoops. All right. Make sure that everything that it's on there straight. And then just run some glue down. And then that is also going to hold all of your pieces together. Whoops, we slipped. And it's going to make your backing look better. You know, you don't want your backing to look all nasty. That paper's irritating me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just glue the rest of this down. Okay, and then I'm not going to bother finish gluing it. I just want to make sure that it's going to be able to hold. There we go. Okay, so now to finish it off, what you want to do now, turn my glue gun on off since I don't need it, is you're going to die cut your die, okay, on regular black cardstock. And I'll show you if I can find it in this mess. Okay. All right. I'm not going to take the time to find it, but obviously, you know that it looks like this. So what you want to do here is you just want to take it and set it where you want it, which I like it right about there. And then what I did was I added a little bit of glue right in here just to hold it down at my bottom. Okay. And then what you can do from here is just take your glue and then just kind of glue it down that way. Or add glue to all of it, and then put it in. It whatever is your preference. Okay, and I'm just going to, if you do it this way, you do need to be careful that you don't bend your cardstock though. You don't want to bend your, like you don't want to bend this die back, or this piece of the die, sorry. Okay, so we've got our die in. And then lastly, I took and I made two of these banners. This is from Impression Obsession. This is one of their newer sets. So I loved that. So the die set also came with the wording. So I'm going to push that up out of the way a little bit better. And let me grab my words here. Okay, and then all I did for this was I took my white glue, because it's got that finer tip on it, so it's perfect for this kind of stuff. Okay, so we're just going to add some to the back here. And again, don't kill yourself by adding glue to every single piece, because you will go bonkers. But just kind of put, a little bit of glue here and there. And then when you adhere it to your banner, you can kind of start off at the edge, and then you can kind of maneuver. Can you see that, how I'm doing that?
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Maneuver it around there, right? So you get that flow. And then you do the same thing with this. Now, what I did for this piece is I just took, as you can see, some red cardstock. I glued my banner onto a piece of white glue. Oh my gosh. Let me start again. I take my stamped banner and I put it on some red cardstock, and then I cut it out again, leaving the edge around it. For me, that's the easiest way to line things up when you're doing it that way. Glue it down first and then cut it out. Okay, I didn't do it on this one, but you can see what it looks like on this. Okay, so we're just going to add these couple little words here. And again, you don't need a whole lot of glue, and you just want to make sure that you get enough on there that you can get it to hold down, and then you can maneuver it. I was playing with this last night, and I really loved, because I had just put it on straight and I didn't like it. So I redid it and decided I want it curved. And to me, it just looks so much better. All right, so we've got some glue on that last little piece there. Okay, and then for this, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so get that first letter down, and then just fold it around or maneuver it around to where it goes with the curve of the banner. Oop. See, doesn't that look cool? I love that. Okay, and then last but not least, I'll just show you the finished one at this point. Okay, so I went ahead and I attached both of my banners with the foam tape from Pear Blossom Press. I love, love, love their foam tape. This stuff is amazing because it won't set for like 24 hours, but you've got like 30 minutes after you put it down. You've got 30 minutes, and if it's not on where you want it, you can pull it off and put it back on. You cannot do that with any other tape. Any other foam tape does not do that. So I love that about that. Okay, so went ahead and I added my 2 banners at the top there. And then down here at the bottom, I took a really pretty piece of ribbon. This is a Growing, I think. Yeah.
Grosgrain.
Grosgrain. Yes. Okay. Gwen Studios. And I just cut it to the length that I wanted it. And then I had some of these wooden stars that were already colored and painted, was already all pretty. So I just glued those on top of the edges there. And then, of course, I used my die. There we go. From Impression Obsession. I used that, my easel, because I originally was going to do a wall hanging, and then I changed my mind and decided to do a standing frame. So you're going to die cut that out with some heavy duty cardstock and adhere it to the back, and then it'll stand up for you, and it just will look really, really pretty. Don't you love? I just love this. It came out so good.
The grosgrain is the perfect little touch too.
It is, because I kept going back and forth on that, and that's how we develop what we're doing, right? Because it's kind of like a trial and error. I tried different ribbons, I tried different, gems, didn't want that, and then finally it just clicked with this one. And I did not want to put it all the way around because I did not want it to take away from the scene of what's going on.
No, it pulls it all together.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I will, while you move your camera, I'll mention some of the comments, okay?
Okay.
Bonnie Crafts, it gives it more depth with the blue around it. Yes, it does. She was talking about the heart, but also the frame. Yes.
Yes.
And Kelly says that the Gina K inks were perfect, the perfect colors, which I agree.
Always.
Isabel says, Lisa, thank you for showing how to put the frame together. She's all right with written instructions, but sometimes the visual of always is helpful, which we agree, which is why we love doing the lives. I mean, it does. It helps a lot.
Yeah,
Karen said,
Go ahead.
Karen said, I have an idea. Attach your design paper onto the cardstock before cutting out the shapes.
There you go.
Work good for me when scoring with another die, which that does
That's
help.
A great idea.
It's your preference.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, as far as visual, I could read instructions and I could read them again and again, and it's like it just doesn't work for me. If I see it, it makes it so much easier. It drives my husband insane, but it's how I work. I have to see something. So I am a very visual person like that. I think a lot of artists and designers and whatnot, I think we're all kind of like that, but I just thought that this, it started with the stencil, and as soon as I saw the stencil, it just went from there. My brain just went and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm glad it turned out great. I'm glad that I got to show it to you guys.
It was beautiful.
Excited. Thank you very much. So that is it for us today. Because as I said, if you missed out, Anne is not doing her live today, but we will be back next week. And I think next week we're doing an interview.
An interview. Yes, we are.
Yes.
And hi, Dorothy. You just got here. You'll have to watch Lisa's rewind.
Dorothy.
So next week we are doing an interview, and we usually announce the winner during my live. So we'll, I'm announce last week's winner and this week's winner both next week during the interview.
Perfect. Okay, Dorothy, well, to just give you a quick look, this is what we made today with Anne's fabulous stencil back here.
Yeah, it turned out beautiful.
I just loved it. And adding the vellum on top, it just...
Right. It tones it down just perfectly. And I do, honestly, that grosgrain ribbon at the bottom just pulled in those stripes in another direction.
Yeah, right?
It was just the perfect touch.
Thank you. Yeah, you kind of want to, that's a good point that you said that, Anne, because you kind of, with this project, you kind of want to make sure that you're not doing all of your lines exactly the same. And what I mean by that is because when you're putting the background paper on, or if you stencil it out, which is what you should do, you want to make sure that those lines go in an opposite direction of your focal point.
Yep.
Okay. That's just good design sense. So when you're, anytime that you're using stripes in different ways, make sure that they are different. Okay, so that's it. I'm so glad that you guys joined me today, and Anne. And I don't know if I said hi to everybody. I don't know. Beatrice, hi, Brenda. Yeah, I didn't see you guys come in. Dorothy,
some people snuck in.
Hi, Bonnie. Yeah, it's nice when you guys pop in. I love it. All right, so join us next week. We are not having a 12 o'clock live. We're not doing mine. We're doing an interview at 2 p.m. Central. So we hope to see you guys there for that. It's interviews are always fun. We always have such great fun when we do one.
They are.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. #BellaCrafts. Okay? All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, or week, I should say. Anne and I are glad that you came, and we hope you have a great week. And what's most important is don't forget to take some time to craft.
Because it's good for your soul.
Oh boy. Enough said. All right, you guys take care, and we will both see you next week.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.